morning has broken. It's a brand spanking new day. But I know for a fact that everybody sitting in this room this morning isn't all giggly, happy, waiting for the good stuff to fall down all around them. I think there is worn outness, there's grief, there's anxiety. But I'm going to suggest something to you. If you can possibly turn that loose just for a little while, there are wonderful possibilities waiting to come into your life, to come into your feelings, to come into your energy source. And just maybe close our eyes for a moment. And just let the worn outness and the grief and the anxiety and the hurt, just let go of it. Just let go. And allow the exciting new possibilities that the universe is going to provide for each one of us. Let those come into your life. And I'm sure you're going to feel better. You're going to feel enriched. You might even accidentally smile. And I believe that to be absolutely true. And so it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm running up the stairs in the woods near Grayton or Occidental in that area with 5 teenagers and 2 guides. Ananda had been invited to a birthday party, and I was the chaperone who was to take these kids along with these guides on a zip lining tour. And I've been thinking about, zip lining. Oh boy, this is going to, I wonder how scared, because I used to be really terrified of heights. I wonder how I'd be. How is this going to work? I don't know. And we had this anticipation and expectation that this would be an absolutely frightening, exhilarating, interesting experience. And the guy clipped me in. He said, okay, jump, go. And I jumped. And I got to the other side. And I had this feeling of, is that it? Well, maybe it'll get better with this next one. So I do the next one, the longer one. Clips me in. We jump. Well, it's pretty. We're out in the redwoods. Seen these views on hikes before, and you get to the other side, and it's like, okay, maybe the 1,200-foot zip line will do it for me. It's got to. And I get on hooked into the zip line, and you can't see the other side. 1,200 feet is a long ways. It's as long as a runway. I thought, this will be, and I zip. And we're zipping on down, and it's a gorgeous view. But kind of like a view I've had at going to the mountaintop hiking, and I realized that this isn't that big of a deal, and how the kind of a sense of disappointment, and I realized this expectation I had built this up into something so much bigger than it really needed to be. It's like when I was a kid at Christmas time. You have all those boxes, and they're surprised, and you open them up, and there's socks, and there are books, and they're never quite, there's so much better when you don't know what it is. And it's that anticipation and expectation that starts to get you into trouble. Instead of just simply being with, I I wonder what's going to happen. This happens in large and small ways. I wonder what's going to happen with this next election. I wonder what's going to happen as we face the crises that we're in. We feel like, oh, it's going to be a bad thing, but maybe not. What miracles will come out of it? And that is the way I'm practicing. It's my spiritual challenge to, as we face these times we're going through, to, feel the grief when it comes, but don't expect grief. Feel the joy when it comes, but don't expect it. Just simply being open to whatever it is, however small or large it is. Thank you.
Thank you very much, David. Should I tell him? No. Huh? David and I started a little agreement about something. I used to do an experiment that Vivian gave me as part of my on-the-job training. And I was talking to David about it. He said, I could do that. David does many messages, and I just offered him a topic to talk about 4 minutes ago in the back of the room. And it's a wonderful experience. Thank you very much. Keep on going. So thank you. So anyway, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have a lot of announcements.
I can't wait to hear.
Well, you want to help me out somehow? Just totally. I'm sorry. I'm just caught up in the morning. It just. I needed to hear about disappointment and expectation this morning very much. Thank you. We are having board meeting next Sunday morning at 9 o'clock. And one of the topics at that board meeting is we finally got our membership approved and paid for with the Village to Village National Network. And our board is downloading a document. Wayne says it's about 40 pages long. I don't know how, it's all long, but it's everything you need to know about starting a village. So our board is going to go through that, talk about it, and then we'll probably have like a Saturday town hall meeting or Friday night or something like that, to where we can anybody who's interested can come and we can start the process. So, and that'll be, you'll know about it. We'll talk about it every week, I think, from now on for probably just eternity. So that's next Sunday. The 23rd will be our potluck, because the 30th, Mike and Jenny are going to be gone to, where at, Minnesota or someplace, Michigan maybe, someplace. And so we're going to have a bon voyage party for them, potluck, on the 23rd of April. The 29th of April, we're going to have a band called Stony Point. It's going to be here for the cabaret. They're kind of just like the Bluebirds. If you couldn't see them, it sounds just about the same. You get up and dance and rock on out. And then the 30th, oh, I forgot something, on the 15th. Saturday the 15th, I think it's 7 p.m. Music to My Ears, who teaches youngsters. Wayne put it out in the newsletter and I forgot the name of it. But it's 7 o'clock Saturday. It's free. If you want to give a donation, they appreciate it. But there's going to be a theatrical performance in our hall. And it's just something really cool that we can do with our young people and our performing arts here in our community. So check out the newsletter. There's a whole flyer on it. And then the 30th of April, yes. I'm okay, and it's going to get better. I know it's going to get better. On the 30th of April, we are going to have right across the street over at the Katati Room, the old time chicken barbecue. And it got postponed during COVID for a while, but it's been going on, I think, for 10 years, something like that, 10 or 12 years. And it started back in the 50s. And then the Catholic Church used to do it right over here in the Belletti Ranch is where it used to take place. And then they stopped doing it for some reason, and the Historical Society started it back up again about 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So that is on the, I think it's $25 at the door and $20 advance tickets. And there's an address, and I think that flyer is in the newsletter as well. You make a phone call, talk to the Historical Society, and they'll turn you right on to tickets. And that's from 12 to 4. And so I think any other, Wayne, Monday Healing Circle, 7 o'clock right here.
Yes.
And Thursday, a week from Thursday?
Yeah, a week from Thursday.
Okay. And there's always a flower calendar that always has blank Sundays on it that goes throughout the whole year.
It's pretty good
You
for
could-
this month, but there's one, I think.
Okay. You could be the first person to volunteer to bring Christmas flowers already. I'm sure you could. So, and just think what that would mean. And what a legacy. Anyway, any other announcements? All right, let's stand up and sing Wonderful Words of Life. Number, I can't even read it. 190 in the Wings of Song. And let's sing it just exactly like we were happy and full of joy and cheer and enthusiasm. With great gusto, greet each other in the traditional Church of the Oaks fashion.
All right, thank you. So you
NAACC women's basketball final.
you're probably Wednesday. 2 weeks.
Oh, you're leaving?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll keep it until Wednesday, Thursday morning, whatever works for us. We'll work it out.
The abundance, prosperity, love, understanding, acceptance, empathy, patience, all these things that we could classify as abundance in our lives. It is in our lives because we are in this world. All of that abundance that flows into us, as we share it, it becomes replaced. It is replaced. It's been my experience, it's replaced more bigger than when we shared it in the first place. Other people may have different experience. That's just me. So let's keep that in mind as we amble down life's bumpy little roads. Let's read together the affirmation of abundance, please. At least once in every day, may I shift my attention to become aware of the vast abundance that enriches my life every minute of every day. May we ponder that, please, sir. As we prepare ourselves for the practice, let's sing together, I clothe myself safely round with infinite love and wisdom.
Good morning. It was like a lot longer than 2 weeks since I've been here. I'm so glad to be back. And there's a quote on the order of service that really caught my eye this morning. The second one from Alan Watts. It says, "You are a function of what the whole universe is doing in the same way that a wave is a function of what the whole ocean is doing. Now, many of us, if we were asked, would say, I feel that what the universe is doing at its heart is love. And we know that's what we're striving for as human beings. So today's practice is a practice about love, but most of all, it's about self-love, because for our loving to really be complete, we need to remember that love is what we are, and we need to experience that more and more of the time. So I invite you now to close your eyes, take a couple of conscious breaths, and as you do so, call into your awareness someone, whether human or animal, that you love unconditionally. Perhaps it's a baby or young child, perhaps it's your kitty cat or your pup, living or gone in the case of pets. And just feel the love well up in your heart as you look at them. There's a real palpable difference there, isn't there? As you look at that beloved one, love simply seems to overflow from you with no effort on your part at all. And just bask in that frequency for a moment of unconditional love, knowing that there's nothing this being could ever do to make you stop loving them. And that the divine sees you in exactly the same way. Knowing that, replace the image of that beloved now with an image of yourself, as if you're looking in a mirror. But as you do so, see if you can invite that same frequency of unconditional love to enter your heart. And if it feels difficult, simply be aware of that and wonder in a sort of witnessing way why that might be. What is there to be aware of? And thank the divine for helping you to remove the barriers from around your heart, the barriers between you and the experience of the love that you are. Look now into your own eyes in that mirror, that divine mirror of light, and know that there are no mistakes, only experiences that happen for our learning. Perhaps the only thing between us and the lesson, the freedom that it grants us, is forgiveness. Towards others, but most of all towards ourselves. Just let that love continue to flow for another couple of moments. Consider the possibility that we need God because we are God. Namaste.
Natalie, thank you. Everybody please stand up. Make a circle this morning. We're all joined together. We're joined together physically by holding our hands. But more importantly, we're joined together in the spirit of love, the spirit of consciousness. Natalie led us this morning. Let's just stay in that place for a moment and feel this united touch, this united spirit, this united love that holds us and cradles us and nurtures us together. I feel so much love and gratitude in this moment. Thank you. I'm going to read something you've all read or heard it before, but I just want to remind us. I need reminding constantly of stuff, and I don't think I'm the only one. We are a community of seeking, thinking, creating people who strive to incorporate spiritual principles and universal truths into our consciousness, thereby enriching our lives. That's who we are. And the message this morning is that we live in the universe, but more importantly, the universe lives in us. And that title actually comes from something I read that some scientist or physicist wrote quite recently. And I think it's true, but it's not a new thing. Rumi wrote, "Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is inside of you." He did that a long time ago, like 400 years ago, 600 years ago, a long time ago. I think that religion, I'm not even going to talk about that today. The new awareness that science is providing to us is all part of this evolution that our world, our whole universe is going through right now. I talked about that last week. I've been, quite excited for a while now. And I spend hours looking at documentaries, listening to lectures on YouTube, reading, and it's incredible what is going on in this universe. Incredible. One thing I got a quote here from, I can't pronounce the name, Michio Kaku. The human brain has 100 billion neurons, and each neuron is connected to 10,000 other neurons. Sitting on your shoulders, this moment is the most complicated object in the known universe. Can we wrap our heads around that? I don't think I can fully get all wrapped around that. Remember the last couple of weeks I've said you were amazing? Yes, we are amazing. We're beyond comprehension most of the time. But the changes coming in our world, it's incredible. I don't know if I can keep up. I don't think I can. I'm trying to. But I was listening to this guy. I think his name is, I wrote it down here, Ray Kurzweil. Oh yeah. Yeah? Oh yeah. He's this dude that's all about, he's the world leader in talking about, writing about, and discovering and bringing about AI, artificial intelligence. And he said back in 1999, sometime in the 2030s, there will be a transition, an evolution of intelligence within a human being. And part of that will be what we call artificial intelligence. But we will reach a time, I think it's called a singularity. And there's going to be a nanobox, which is a microscopic computer thing that will be able to be implanted in human brains, which will increase our intelligence 1 million times. And I saw him say that a month ago. I don't know, as the studying I've done, I'm so excited at the potentials and possibilities within our lifetimes, us old people, within our short amount of life left, we are going to see things that have never been seen in human history before, that are uncomprehendable with the amount of brain that we currently have available to us and are used to using. I just can't imagine. The scientists tell us right now that what we know, there's a quote, I don't know if it was Einstein or Emerson said, maybe it was somebody else, it said, the more I come to know, the more I realize I know nothing. I know hardly anything at all. And the numbers from the people that study all this, that right now, in the advanced state that science is, with all the telescopes and all the scientific studies and data collected and the help of computers, that we only know about 4% of what makes this universe go. And I haven't got a clue about 99% of that, what we're supposed to know, supposedly know at this point. But as I look back in history and I think about my grandmother, she started giving birth just about 1900, and she gave birth until about 1937, had 18 kids. In 1900, there were very few cars. We'll say in Columbus, Ohio, or New York City, if you look at pictures, there's no cars. It's all trucks and wagons and horses and wagons and mules. 30 years later, not a horse to be seen. 1950, we finally got, some of us saw televisions for the first time. 50 years later, 2000, we had computers. I had an Apple SE, and I was on top of the technological edge because I had a CompuServe account were emails, and my address was like 27 numbers. State of the art. I remember having a telephone. It was actually a radio. It was about this high and about this wide and weighed about 15 pounds. It had this big box in the truck. And now there's telephones that you pocket. Computers that have unbelievable, I can't wrap my head around how much information and data they can hold and where they can go. We are in the most advanced, exciting time in the history of our species, the history of this planet. And when we come to realize that all this intelligence, all the energies, all of the phenomenon that take place in the universe are actually within us. The universe manifests itself in each one of us, in every living thing. I want to read this little statement again because I think it's important for us to think about this. We are a community of seeking, thinking, creating people who strive to incorporate spiritual principles and universal truth into our consciousness, thereby enriching our lives. We are thinking people. The only reason I'm standing up here telling you all this crazy stuff is to try to get you to think of the possibilities. The possibilities that each one of us might embark upon. Over the next 10 years, life as we know it is going to change. We won't recognize technology. They say by 2050 there will be no driving cars. It'll all be remote, electric, what they're doing now, the drive by yourself cars. I can't imagine such a thing. But there are people who can. And with a little encouragement, each one of us can imagine experiences, technology that we've never been able to imagine before. When we step out of that box, when we lose our expectation and disappointments, and just see where it's incredible. And we have so many times we want to look for the meaning of our lives, the purposes of our lives. And my dear friends, we can create the meaning of our lives. As we take steps, have thoughts, turn those thoughts into actions and words, that becomes the meaning of our life. When we volunteer at the animal shelter, when we volunteer at COTS or volunteer Redwood Gospel Mission Thanksgiving things and Christmas things, we are creating the meaning of our lives. I heard something recently, and now I'm going to brag. I made a statement in 1969 that I thought the purpose of human beings was to be the caretakers of our planet. And I wrote it down. And I heard, what was his name, Stephen Hawking? Is that the guy? He said that same thing, much later. I came up with it first. Maybe he heard it or saw it. And as we serve our fellow human beings in whatever fashion. When we serve our planet, our world as we know it, when we go out and help clean up the beaches and clean up the ocean, when we start recycling and do the best we can to be as eco-friendly as we possibly can, when we give each other a hug and listen to each other as we express what we need to express today. We are creating the meaning of our lives. And as I'm so excited about this evolution that our planet, that our universe, that our species are going through, I think to myself, wow, there's no accidents. This opportunity of a village network just came to us right at this time. What better opportunity for each of us to expand and add value to the meanings of our lives as we reach out and coexist, touch, interact one-on-one with the fellow members of our community. What an opportunity for each of us. And what kind of result will that have on the overall feelings, the consciousness of the people in our community? And that's just one little thing. Our universe is offering opportunities to develop and enrich the meaning of our lives at every facet. I defy you to read the newspaper on any given day. When you really read it, you can't help but notice a dozen opportunities that you could participate. Take a step out of that handy little box, the comfortable little box. Take a step forward and just see what happens. And I just know, within me, I know that our lives will be enriched. I hope each one of you thinks about the things that I say, but I hope I never hear somebody say, "Oh, Pat said that, so it must be true." No. My job is to put some information, put some ideas out there for you to kick around and consider, where you can create your own meaning, your own purpose, create your own beliefs. I don't care what anybody thinks or believes. I just don't. But my job is to make sure I share with you thoughts, ideas, experiences, just things that I've come across that might have the opportunity to be part of your life, and it might enrich your life. I don't know. It's your life. It's not mine. But I just keep saying over and over this last week, I hardly got much done because I was so just overwhelmed with what is going on in our universe. And our universe is in us, so it's going on in us. We can ignore it and turn on Dancing with the Stars and get us some Cheetos and some Diet Coke and just sit there and pig out. Or we can stop and consider the experiences going on in this universe right now that are in the process of changing virtually every life form. And we can be part of that. And to me, that is the most exciting possibility set of experiences that a human being could ever hope to participate in. and we can hold hands and stick together and do this. I know we can. And week by week, day by day, minute by minute, we can evolve with the rest of the universe. Our lives can be enriched. Our purposes and our meanings of life can be enriched and expanded. We can't take us with us, folks. And it's not what we have when we leave. It's what we leave behind. And this universe gives us everything. And it actually gives us the fuel to hope. It gives us the ability to create joy. It gives us the opportunity to let the love of the universe, of spirit, of the unseen, flow through us in every facet of our life, with every kind of relationship we have in our lives. So I just think that all of the restrictions, disappointments, and encumberments, and not so gratifying experiences that we have had have just been to prepare us and give us some experience to go through the most exciting, unimaginable series of events as we evolve with this wonderful universe we call home. And like I was telling somebody else the other day, I can't remember who now, they said, wow, you guys are doing that and you did that? Yeah, I said, we're mighty, we're tiny, but we're mighty. All you got to do is just stand back and fan us and watch us go. So we are free right here today, ladies and gentlemen. We are unlimited, the whole universe, right here. Let's stand up and sing, I am free, I am unlimited, and let's sing it twice. Okay?